Do you think it would be difficult for a man to lead if he's in a house where the woman owns it?
Real quick. And
It
the
should be.
Ashanti, is it? And
Yeah,
the Ashanti.
yeah.
Real quick. Have you ever had a guy move in with you?
No,
Why?
because the men I've dated own their own homes.
Okay. And those guys that own their own homes, that was one of the requirements you had for them, right? That they had their own thing.
No, not at all. It was
So,
completely different. It's something they did mention, but it was
so,
definitely something. Yeah.
so you don't have a requirement for a man to have his own place before you date him or pursue him for marriage.
I don't want someone who's homeless, to be clear, right? But I am. It is not
So
a
he can live with
necessary.
his mom. He can live with his mom or something like that.
Yeah,
That's okay.
sure. If he, but
Okay.
it's only if he has the qualities of. You have to have a certain ambition, I guess the word is, to know that you're not
Well,
going to stay there.
I'm okay. I'm trying to answer your question, and I think some of the guys who are trying to answer it. Do you want an answer, or are you just looking to have a conversation? Because we're trying to answer your question.
I actually want to understand from your perspective, and I think that's
Okay.
necessary for the conversation.
All right. So, do you want a man? If you can build a man, would you want him to already have his own place?
Yes, of course. That'd be great.
Okay. If you can build a man, he's a great guy, he has a great personality, he believes in Jesus, right? Or whatever. But he wants to move in with you. Would you want that to happen also? Would you also be okay with that dynamic?
Him moving in with me.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah. That, I mean,
Sure. Okay,
yes.
so just based on the sure and the fact that you
Yes.
said
The answer
yeah,
is yes. The answer
you're
is yes.
those two things, those no. But I just want you to recognize what you just did. You paused, thought about it, and said sure. And then when I asked if he had his own place, you were very giddy and like, yeah, of course. Right? So to answer your question, it is not advisable, as my brethren just said a second ago, to move into a woman's house because once he does that, he's already lost some of his masculinity. Because that's
Why?
not his place.
But that goes
You
back to
understand?
the no. Oh, I mean, yes, I do, right? Because
No? Okay, cool.
well, I understand because yes, he's ultimately putting him in a position of vulnerability where his partner could be and that's his lively, like that is his security at risk. That's dangerous. As a man, you are not given the liberty to be casual. Not men aren't given the liberty to have safety nets, generally speaking. But uh, I can understand that. So understand other because I know there are a lot of women who pick men who are very high risk men. Right.
I think that men, I agree with Hank, that men should not move into a woman's place. Like, I think that, but I also believe that it can happen in both ends. So a woman can in with a man, and a man can be like, get out, and she got to figure it out. But the underlining thing for me is a man shouldn't move into a woman's space. Either she moves in with him or they go get a place together. I feel like that's the only way because the woman essentially kind of holds the power, like he said, right? And I feel like that in itself messes up the relationship dynamic because the man is supposed to be, the provider, the protector, and it's like now he's under her umbrella. The man is supposed to be the covering. She
I
supposed to.
understand this, but to play devil's
I
advocate,
don't see why that's why it does. It never. It really don't work when it happens. If you want to
Have
be
that,
So,
Aisha, has a man moved in with you before and it didn't work?
married for 17 years, we've moved together. No, I don't.
No, you never did it, right?
No, I don't know.
Yeah. So I just think I
why are we
think
moving in
I
before
like what
marriage?
Hink did I say it right, Hink? Okay. I like what Hink said as a prerequisite, but I think that's definitely a prerequisite. I think that a mature person, it's just oh my God, I so live off of maturity, man. My ex, when I got married, he moved in with me. I mean, I'm a submissive naturally. So I come from great women that allow a man to lead. I think my dad might have moved in with my mom, but My mom didn't boss I don't have bossy women in my family. Like Hink said, his wife, his foundation of women, they're a certain way. So I think that in that same space where some of you women might be those type of women, I don't think that, and then Aisha, you said you've been in a relationship 17 years or something like that. You're in a relationship, but I'm saying for the women that could be single, I don't think that it's a bad thing for a man to move in. But my thing is, I'm in Atlanta, where I have friends that are desperate for a man, beautiful, but they go and buy their dream house. And I just think it's the dumbest thing ever. And no man's not going to move in your pink Barbie house.
Okay.
You want a baby and you want a husband, but he's not going to move in there.
But if I were to move into his house, wouldn't I expect him to change things to make me comfortable? So why wouldn't it be reciprocated? The thing is, if I'm just dating to have fun and I'm just, I'm allowing men to move in with me without actually being married, then that you already have the answer, right? But if we are actually building legacy and we're building a world in which this is my man and this is my person, the only reason why I hesitated was because I was evaluating, is this someone who I would feel it, or I would qualify that this is my person? Of course, you can move in. Why wouldn't I cover you? You would do the same. It is not.
I didn't think you were hesitant at all. I think he thought that. I don't think you hesitated.
No, I did hesitate because I was thinking, but
yeah,
I
think she was hesitant. She was hesitant for a reason.
Because naturally,
she was hesitant.
Society deems everything. Society, she said it. She said if she could build her man, she wanted him to have his own. But you're like, then you turn around and you're like,
because that's a flex. Most women who get homes, it's because
that's not a flex. That's not a flex.
Or it was passed down to them. Like,
that's not a flex.
You don't think it's a flex for a black
It's not a flex. If a woman moves a man into her crib and she thinks that's a flex, that's not a flex. You lost.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's a flex for a black man to own his own home. Do you know what that
says?
That
is what I'm saying. That is a flex. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me say this.
That is a flex.
Okay.
It's a flex to me if a man I meet takes care of his kids. That's a flex.
No, I agree. Aisha, I agree with you. I agree with you.
I agree with you. He honors God.
I don't even think
I agree with
you at your mama house.
But why?
I agree with you.
Not a house. That ain't a flex. That could be taken by Uncle Sam.
You see how they
no, but if a man has his own,
I want a condo when my next man get married in a condo.
Well, if a man has his own house, that is a flex. I agree with you.
Well, hold on. I think that.
Let me say something real fast.
Go ahead, Hank.
Let me say this, because I don't agree with moving in if we're not married.
Period.
When I brought my wife down here from Texas, she got an apartment. I had my house. She stayed in an apartment. We didn't live together. I'm not doing that. I'm not playing house.
Exactly.
I'm not shacking up with you. We're not doing that. So when we got married, I bought us a house. And then we moved in together. And we did what we need to do. Set it up the way we set it up. That's how I do. I don't believe in just moving in with a woman. I'm not doing that because I did it when I was early in my 20s. And I've suffered that. You get out. And what I had no choice. That was her place. I moved in. I made a mistake. Shame on me. But I'll never do it again. And I never recommend any other man to do such thing.
Are you coming from a place of hurt?
Okay, ma'am. Go ahead. Go ahead and bully me. Go ahead.
Hank be coming from a place of hurt.
Straight like that. Do you think that was aggressive what she just sit there and said? She called
me. What she just said?
Oh, it's not being aggressive.
No, I don't think.
Well,
Aisha.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna play devil's advocate.